Hello, everybody. So somebody asked me if I would look into the connection between Matt Bomer and Jonathan Bailey. So I don't know. Okay, I love Bridgerton and I love Jonathan Bailey. Okay, I've also seen Matt Bomer in a couple of flicks. I don't remember what they were, but I know that I've seen them. I do not know anything about what they have done together, like as far as projects are concerned. I saw them at an award show. I don't remember which one it was, but there was this really cute joke that was made about how about how gay men, it turns out gay men can actually play gay men. in roles. It was really great. I probably screwed that up. Anyway, so I don't know very much about them. I don't know about their connection. So that's why I'm here today, because somebody asked me if I would look at that. So I'm doing my typical spread, where I'm looking at the recent past, the present, and the near future. I'm looking at the bottom of the deck and the foundation here. So I have a tarot card and an oracle card accompanying, and we have Jonathan on the left, Matt on the right, and the energy between them in the center. I'm just fixing things. So when I was shuffling, guess what? This doesn't happen very often with me, where I get cards that fly out, but I keep them when they do fly out. The card that flew out when I was concentrating on their energy was the Ace of Cups. So if you know anything about the Ace of Cups, you do know that to mean new love, a new relationship. It's about creativity, and it's about compassion, and it's about expression of emotion and budding romance, budding. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I kind of saw, I didn't kind of see, I saw the bottom of the deck and I was like, okay, I think I know what's going on here. So on the bottom of the deck in the foundation of the reading, we have the Seven of Swords with the Faith card. Okay, and that's out here with this Ace of Cups, right? So I'm like, okay. I want to say this first and foremost. Their connection, okay, them coming together to work on a project, or however it is that they met. Maybe they knew each other from long ago. I don't know. But whatever they performed together, it is the public or the fans' public perception of these two men that has caused a little bit of, not even a little bit, it's caused an upheaval in their personal relationships with their partners, because I think that they're both in relationships. Their partners may have questioned them. You know, Jonathan Bailey's partner may have questioned him on, like, was there anything going on? And then vice versa, you know? And that may have put something that was once stable, a relationship with their partners that were once stable, is now there's things that are being shaken. Okay, now this happens all the time, and there is no rhyme or reason. We just know that something was set into motion when Jonathan Bailey and Matt Bomer came together as, you know, co-stars or whatever. And it had to do with the public. It had to do with what was being supposed Like if there's something going on between these two men behind the scenes that we don't know about, and that really kind of made their relationships with their partners come into focus, because it's a test, okay? It's a test between their partners and themselves, So they had this sort of like a shake up, and then it's going to test the personal relationships or the marriage, where we're going to see where there is instability, or we're going to see where there are problem areas, or we're going to either face the fact that we don't trust, or we have suspicions, or we feel you're being, that one is being sneaky, and then it'll test the strength of those relationships. It'll either grow stronger from this trial and tribulation, or it will break down. Okay. And that happens a lot in relationships. Now, one of the things that just popped into my head, my third eye, was that Jonathan Bailey is going through some sort of 7-year itch in his relationship right now. I do love this pair. Okay. This is that I just felt such an energy when I saw their pictures. Okay. Because I saw Matt Bomer and his husband, and then I saw Jonathan and his boyfriend. So I was like, okay, like I get good feelings, like both are very artistic and creative, and like they just look like they fit. Okay. But I think that he's going through something where he's moving in a certain direction. Jonathan Bailey is moving in a certain direction. Okay. And it is, his partner is either going to be stagnant and stay where he is, or they're going to rise up together. And sometimes with the 7-year itch, what happens is that we got a fork in the road. I want to go this way and you want to go this way. Or we're vibing away from each other. I'm on this vibration and you are rising up to this vibration, and then inevitably we attract people of that same vibration. So what happens is that there can be a split, there can be something like that occurs. So I am not saying that that's what's necessarily happening within his relationship right this second, but I do believe that there is something to that. Okay. And I don't know if that could be upcoming, or it could be like, maybe in the distant future, maybe sometime this year, I would say. Recent past is that these two men came together specifically with a set of emotions, okay, that were already there, okay? So Matt was feeling like abandoned. He was looking to escape into this character or escape into his work and kind of put all of the emotions that he was having. And this is the recent past. So I would say this was like when filming began, right? I don't actually know if that was recent or not, but I would say that's what we're talking about here. When they came together for the first time to work together. So there was a sense of like wanting to focus on work, wanting to dive in, because I'm filling a hole. Okay. I'm filling a spot within me, that I'm going to allow this character in, and I'm going to benefit from this acted out relationship. But I'm also going to benefit from the skills that I portray as an actor, and also like I'm reaping what I've sown. So I put in a lot of effort, right? And I hope I get this part. I hope that I'm not cut, right? He had these kinds of thoughts going on in his head when they first met. But he was very excited to jump into work. But he came in with an energy that was like things were not really good for him, right? They weren't like he wasn't in a good place. And I don't know if that has to do with his relationship or if that has something to do with just generally maybe mental health or something like that. But a feeling of wanting to sort of withdraw, but then it comes out with the work, labor, and efforts card. So I know he's wanting to dive into work. A lot of people do that when they're faced with a lot of emotions in their personal lives. They will try to redirect those emotions and put them into the work that they do. I mean, you can even, there's a quote from, well, not a quote, it's a lyric from the song What You Own from Rent. Don't breathe too deep, don't think all day, dive into work, drive the other way. That drip of hurt, that pint of shame goes away, just play the game. So that's the energy that I get from him in the recent past. And, you know, in the midst of this casting call and the auditions and then getting it and all the things. Jonathan also steps into this role with a little bit of a mentally and emotionally unstable feeling, okay? But he's being protected and guided from spirit. Like he has a lot of spiritual protection around him and guidance towards channeling that emotional instability into the character and the relationship that he's going to have with Matt Bomer on screen in this project. So it's like very similar pages we have here. And do you know what happens on set? Protection, which is just reinforcing, like the minute that Jonathan came into the picture, Matt felt something very spiritual from Jonathan. There was this aura. It was, I feel safe with you. Okay. But we had these two men entering into something with their own set of personal issues, their own, things going on in their lives. And the minute they stepped into this energy where they met, okay, there was balance and protection. It was temperance, okay? So it's like there was this peace and this patience and this thing. It's like they came together and they were like, oh my God, you have this substance and I have this substance, right? And then we're going to take our substances and we're going to put them together and we're going to create a third. And that's going to be ours forever. This project is going to be so meaningful for so many people. I really feel them having this conversation with each other about this. And then it's sort of like becomes a team. They're working together, right? So they're becoming a team. But they're also getting a lot of emotional stability and fulfillment from the other, right? And they might call it work. They might call it like, this is just work. This is what happens. And then I go home and I deal with my stuff behind the scenes, right? But a lot can happen at work, and especially when you're doing this kind of work, acting, you have to be so vulnerable with each other. So there is a certain level of trust you must develop. First of all, there's got to be some kind of chemistry going on, or else you're not going to be a fit for the film. It's not going to translate. But then you also have to like trust the other person. And there was immediate trust between Jonathan and Matt. Immediate trust. It's actually very beautiful to see. It makes me like so happy. Like I'm feeling it inside, their energy. Because you have to know that like when I'm doing these readings, I really am feeling these people. I'm allowed to peer in and watch their dance. You know, we all have these orchestrated dances that's how we're moving in the world, and it's all unique. And then I get to see it and feel it. It's very cool, and I feel very honored to be able to feel this. I do feel like they had a lot of faith in the other. They had a lot of they didn't have very, very many setbacks or anything. There were no, it was like strength in the differences that they had as actors, and then like comfort where they found that they were so similar. So this work relationship thing is interesting, and I'd really love to speak to like a doctor of psychology or somebody in the psychological field to see what that's all about, because we know a lot of stuff happens at work, right? But it seems like it's very difficult. I don't think you are meant to separate yourself from the work when you're acting. You have to put yourself, there has to be something that relates within you to the character that you're playing, and you invest in it emotionally. So anyway, that's my theory. So they had a good thing going on. They had a lot of protection around them. The thing I wanted to say about the recent past and them coming together is that this was a very destined project. This was something that was planned by them before they were born. This was something that they put into motion prior to incarnation. Why? This project is very big for many people. But it's also, I think, coming out at a time where it's needed the most. So there is divine protection around them. There was a divine orchestration also, that they would come together and meet at this time. Okay? So what I'm seeing for the present moment is that here's where we get into a little bit of this their other partner. They're partners in life, okay, that they've chosen, that they had already established prior to doing this, prior to meeting each other. This is going to be a little bit more of a focal point on that, because that's what's coming out. So if I don't speak about this, I wouldn't necessarily be good at what I do. But I'm going to start with Matt, right? Because I did that in the recent past. He's feeling curious. He's feeling restlessness. Okay. I don't know if they're done with the project, but I just know that he walked away from that, okay, with a certain level of balance. And when he went back into his life with his husband and children, he was feeling imbalanced again. Okay, so there was a restlessness. And so he's been spending time, Matt, in the present moment, has been spending time aligning his chakras. He's been getting into alignment. And I do feel like I don't know this, so somebody has to chime in, but do we know if Jonathan Bailey like meditates and does maybe some kind of like transcendental meditation? I only ask that because it's showing up here that that's something that he might have taught Matt about, or they did it together. Maybe both of them practiced it, and so it was something that they did together on set. But I also know that what's her name? Oh, one of the actresses in Bridgerton practices transcendental meditation. I read that. Claudia, that's her name. Not in the show, in real life. Claudia. So Matt is, so like I said, Matt is balancing. He, in his present moment, away from the situation, he was really happy being away for a little while and being on his own to a certain degree, meaning he cannot abandon work. It's him in that. So it's like, I have to put a pause on my personal life, right? For maybe they were in a foreign location while they were filming. So it was like a vacation for him. But then he came back and he was like, no, I got to get back. But at the same time, I really enjoyed the balance that I felt. And in the work that I produced, I was proud of what I've produced with Jonathan. And he's trying to get back into that alignment again. He wants to be aligned with Jonathan. I think they're going to be friends forever. I truly believe that. Now, this repetition keeps coming out about faith. And it keeps coming out not only just for both of them, but I keep seeing it for Jonathan. That Jonathan has this this double meaning of they're both very curious. Okay, I cannot place why these two men are so curious. And it's not that hey, it could be that they're both curious about each other, and that's just something that's there, because they don't fully know, because they did this work where I think were in a relationship, but that's their work, right? So there's a curiosity about maybe being together, okay? And I don't think that that's abnormal. I don't. I think that that's completely human to think that way and feel that way. So I don't think that's cheating either. That's something that's just a part of us, like thinking, it is what it is, right? There's no fault in it. But this divine faith with the thief, I think that they are both experiencing things within their respective partnerships that are not very good right now. There is a need, and there is the energy between Jonathan and Matt is that they are both determined. Oh, shit. Oh, this is so fucking... Okay. They're both determined, and they both have this curiosity, right? Like I said, about the distant future and whether maybe they could be together. Okay, I'm just putting it out there. Okay? I don't think that that's something that they have necessarily spoken to each other about, but I feel like it's kind of unspoken. And so they both sort of read it on each other, that there is a curiosity and there is I want to be around you. I love how I feel. The Chariot coming out is some kind of determination, some kind of plan, perhaps, that maybe one day in the distant future, our lives will be orchestrated in such a way that it would be the right time for us to be together. There is a timing aspect to this. There's also this, the unknown, right? We don't know, but we hold on to the faith. We hold on to faith that things might work out the way that they're meant to work out, because we've, up to this point, chosen our lives. We've chosen our people, our partners. So, and there's children involved. I mean, come on, we don't want to be home wreckers. We don't want to be home wreckers. They are in full support of each other, though, but I don't think that let's look at the near future, because the present is like them being like seeing all this stuff online and then going like, they're not like completely wrong, but we didn't have anything going on because we're faithful to our partners. But we both have thought about it. We've thought about the future and what that might hold, because we really like each other, right? So they're both very mature about this, okay? I think there's an 11-year age gap between them. I don't know why that came up, but they're both very mature men. Especially like they have a lot of respect for themselves and for each other and for the other person's partner and families and things like that. So there's really no stooping here. There's no sneakiness necessarily. What I think is that they're afraid that their partners are going to get suspicious that something did happen between them. So that's the only thing. That's what I see in the foundation here. Oh, here we go with the oh, they're together, and then it kind of conjures up a little bit of this like backstabby, sneaking, cheating kind of thing, and that's not what happened. They had their relationship and they were in their little relationship bubble when they were on set, but when they're not, they are themselves. They are two men who are partnered, and they have their own lives separate from their work. So, but that doesn't mean that what I said before isn't true at the beginning, where it was like the foundation of their partnerships might go through. There might be just some rockiness going on, because that's the constant in relationships. There's always going to be some kind of upheaval that tests your strength as partners. Always. Okay? So they're not immune to that. Okay. The near future, start with Matt. Okay. I am not somebody who predicts death, okay? Now, don't get scared, because I'm not talking about them, Matt or Johnny. I'm talking about Matt Bomer's husband, okay? It's definitely a man, okay? And there being an ending, okay? That could just be the end of his partnership with his husband currently. Or it could be that his husband has a scare where his health is concerned. So I don't want to put it out there as like I'm predicting somebody's passing. I don't like to do that, and I don't do that, okay? But I am saying that there is something going on where I feel like either for Matt, either he is going to get a divorce and leave his current partner, or there is a separation between him and Johnny. Because we got the Ten of Swords with the endings card here. Painful endings. Betrayal. And we did have the betrayal card coming out with the seven of swords here. So at the bottom of the deck, confusion, not knowing what to do. I mean, this is probably going to be a test. This is the test that his relationship is going through. And whether it's a test in Matt's relationship with his husband, or if it's a test in his relationship with Johnny, there is some kind of separation and ending occurring in Matt Bomer's life. And with Jonathan, this is very interesting to me because I had to think about this for a while, because we have the Ace of Swords and the manipulation card. So it's more like Ace of Swords reversed, because it's about, kind of like chaos and hostility and confusion. So for me, I'm also feeling like somebody, like they're both going through their own separate issues. I want to say this, and I'm not going to eliminate this at all. I really feel like the interference of everybody else online and all of that could effectively cause these two people who are very good friends to separate from each other, okay, if this kind of continues, because they have their own lives, and they don't want those lives to be tampered with, okay? But there's a lot of pressure. And like I said in the beginning, we're going to be put through tests, and their relationships are in the near future being put through a series of tests. And I do see that there are new beginnings for both of these men in that they are manifesting. We have the Fool card coming out with the manifestation card, that manifesting a new beginning. Now, does that mean that they might be together? Sure. I just don't see it happening very quickly. As in, it's in the near future, but it could be a little bit longer than that, okay? I want to say 2025 is really shaking things up for both of these men in their personal lives, and it's actually beneficial. So it's going to get really bad before it gets good again. But we have to understand that we're all evolving and growing. And so, like, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that going on here. It's like moving and changing and growing, and, yeah, they really do love each other very much. I can't say that they don't. They really do. They're very, very close. We have two guys, two Venus men, okay? Johnny being the feminine Taurus, feminine of Venus, and then we have Matt, the Libra, being the masculine of Venus. So it's very artistic, it's very creative, it's very strong foundationally, because Jonathan brings a structure to the relationship, and sometimes a Libra will need that kind of groundedness in order to make decisions, okay? And being decisive is not always Libra's strong suit. They have difficulty with that. So moving and changing, they both don't really like that. They both don't really like that. Especially Johnny's an earth sign. Earth signs are always going to work really hard at fixing their relationship. They're invested. They are usually the most faithful of all of the signs. Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, usually very faithful people, if they're acting in a very healthy way. But the air signs, I mean, Matt's just like a little creative Libra. I also think he has his North Node in Libra, which is very cool. But anyway, I'm digressing. I'm talking about astrology now. I do think that they have some kind of new beginning. Okay, but what I'm seeing for the near future has more to do with what's going on in their personal lives, separate from each other. Either they themselves are going to move on from their friendship with one another, or they're going to be moving on from their relationships. But I do see endings and new beginnings happening for them. And I wish them all the best because I really do I love them. They're great. Especially Mr. Johnny, Viscount Bridgerton. Well, I hope you guys are doing well. And this has been my reading for Matt Bomer and Jonathan Bailey. And I'm sending you so much love now and always.